Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to Meta One Design headquarters on Decentraland, and we're here for another episode of Beyond the NFT. For My name is Sinful, and I am your host for tonight's event. Big shout out to all of you that have popped in. I see you. I still see you, M. I see Alpha Angels out there. I see Mr. J Stickle. Mack on the beat has joined us on Decentraland, looking
What up?
gangster
What
as
up?
fuck. Look at him. He's looking gangster as fuck with his beast. He may have hit a line or two though. So stand by. We may have to ask him about it. I see Stony Eye in the back over there. Welcome Stony Eye to Meta One Design headquarters. What up, Misconduct? Pinch is in the building as well, and of course, the one and only old guy is here. Thank you so much for being here. It is an honor. It truly is an honor to be able to host these events for all of you every Monday. And also on cue, as soon as I go live, the dogs start barking outside. So it ain't a Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern without that. So before we
So
get
classic.
Bro, for real, I'll tell you about it too. Before we begin, I would like to give a special shout out to our sponsor, Bucktown MMA. Oops, wrong screen. There we go. There we go. Bucktown is a mixed martial arts program that was founded by our friend Jay Isip. Their mission is to empower youth and young combat athletes all around the world. And if you would like to learn more, head over to bucktown.org. There you can read a little more about what the program is all about, as well as pick up some Bucktown merch or NFTs. All proceedings go back to the program. Alrighty, now that we're done paying bills, uh, the moment that you have all been waiting for. Tonight's guest is a music producer with 18 million plus streams. He is known throughout the D Gods and A Kid Called Beast communities, and he probably produced for Zach B. We'll have to find out what that's all about, if he did it or not. It is a great pleasure to introduce Mack on the beat. Welcome.
What up, man? Thank you so much for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Camis go on now. I get a little nervous whenever I do my intros, so like I don't get my camera on so no one sees me.
Well, you killed it. You did really well. Here, I'll join you. I'll put my camera on. I don't know if my lighting is very good though.
we
They
we
don't have. It's ridiculous. We moved into this apartment and there's no light in this bedroom at all. So, despite this, if we didn't have this guy, it would just be pitch black in here.
Oh, bro, I know the deal. Like just moving in somewhere and there's like no ceiling fan, like and you're just like, what the people before here? How did they light up the room?
Right. Exactly. How did they even live? Yeah, that's my situation right now.
I see. Well, I mean, when you move in, it's always a little like, slow to start, like make the place your home, but eventually, you'll deck it out just the way that you want it to be.
100%.
So usually I like to start our shows or our Beyond the NFT episodes by passing the mic over to our guest and, allowing you the opportunity to give yourself that proper introduction. Like my introductions are a lot of the times like fun. So I'll pass it over to you and, give you that opportunity to tell us about Mac on the beat.
Sounds good. Yeah. A little bit about me. I started making music roughly about 10 years ago at this point. I feel like I told you this story last time, but I was in university at the time, and I was also working at a job. I was kind of on my last legs, to be honest. And one of my homies there, he invited me to a birthday party, and well, a birthday party at a rave. So I guess you could just say it was more of just like a birthday celebration type of thing. And at the time, I'd never been to a rave before, so I was pretty excited. I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'm super down." Um, Ended up going to this show, and I left that night, and I was sitting with my buddy. We were smoking some weed after the show, and I looked at him. I was like, "Man, like if I could make music that made people feel the way that I felt this evening, like that would be my that'd be everything to me. Like that would just make me feel so happy and so satisfied inside." And I decided to finish off my semester because I think I was maybe about 3/4 of the way through my semester, my through my third semester in university, and I decided to drop out and go and take a music course over at the closest college. Um, and that is where I ended up meeting Zach, which is who I produce for primarily, which kind of leads into what you were just what you said in the intro. Probably produced for Zach. So yeah, I've been producing with him since 2016, 2017 at this point. So it's been quite a while. Um, and yeah, the rest is kind of history. Um, yeah, I've been producing music ever since.
Producing music ever since. And I mean,
Yeah.
so like as someone, 10 years ago, making that transition from a traditional college into kind of a more like, art related, music related school. Um, Kind of like, what were some of the things that you learned like about getting started in music that kind of stick with you to this day?
Uh, I'd say the biggest thing that I learned was just, I mean, amongst all the technical stuff, was kind of just being true to what you liked. From all the stories of success that I heard from people and from everybody who found their own lane within the industry and longevity. I mean, I think that's especially for an artist. I think that's one of the biggest things to maintain is just a long career, right? Um, is just to stick true to the actual sound and what you like, because if you find yourself making stuff and working on stuff that you don't actually like, especially when it comes to artistic stuff like music, it just ends up wearing you out really quickly. And it's really easy for the listeners to tell that your heart isn't really in it. It sounds really cliche and really corny, but you can definitely hear when somebody's having fun when they're making music versus somebody who, it might not be as obvious to some, but you can hear it in the arrangement and the sounds you use and the creativity. Things come across a little bit more enjoyable, a little bit more fresh, a little bit more new, when you're enjoying what you're doing. So like that was definitely one of the biggest things that we took from that, and also just they opened my eyes to a lot of different avenues within the music industry, which I thought was great. It wasn't just like a program where, hey, cool, you're going to become a musician, you're going to be an artist, be a producer, whatever. Um, they taught us a lot about business side and kind of avenues for working with music but never actually having to make music yourself. Like say you're just a huge music buff, you're just a music junkie. um, they kind of opened up some doors and opened up our eyes to other career paths that was still equally involved with the music industry. You just weren't necessarily the creative doing it. So
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really cool too, because not everybody always assumes like, oh, you do music, you must want to be a star or an artist or whatever. But there's actually so many people that are pulling the strings and helping all these things behind the scenes that aren't on stage that
Yeah.
are equally as important. So it was cool.
Nice. Taught you, yeah, definitely going to music school taught you a lot about like everything that goes into a performance or making music. Your tip
Really.
in a way that like, in a way your tip was like follow your heart. Uh, do what you want to do. Was there ever a time, like early on in school, where you struggled to find that like identity in a way, or like find what you wanted to make?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think I still struggle with that sometimes for sure. I don't think there's ever any easy days when it comes to trying to make stuff. Like
Hmm.
I found that over the course of making music, the direction of the music that I've liked to make has kind of changed. Like when I first started to make music, it was very heavily oriented on electronic dance music, which I still love to make for sure. But I have noticed over the past decade that I don't. It doesn't pull me in the same way that it used to when I was 25, 21. Um, and I find over the course of the years, I've kind of started to make more melancholy, more. I don't know. Emotional might not be the right word, but some emotional is just an easy descriptor for it.
Hmm.
I find there's a lot of back and forth between that. So yeah, definitely, it's definitely hard, and I think it's something that I'm still working with and still trying to figure out till this day for sure.
Nice. Yeah, yeah. And so then you mentioned you met Zach B in college,
Hmm.
and you have been working, collaborating with Zach B, ever since 10 years ago. You would you say, or yeah? Um,
Yeah, roughly. I
nice.
guess just shy, right? Because it's what 2024. So yeah, I guess it would have been 2017. So I guess about 8 years or so, maybe
Okay.
7.
Nice. I mean, still a long time
Yeah,
to be kicking with someone and creating.
yeah,
That's your boy, you know?
100%.
That's your boy.
Yeah, 100%. Exactly, and it's super funny too because out of like we produce within this kind of smaller niche market of for a more niche audience, and I think there's only 3 or 4 of us that are actually from Canada, and it turns out that he's less than an hour away from me, and it's just such a small world.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
damn, what a small world indeed. So yeah,
right.
would like to just ask, about Zach. Like, what could you tell us about Zach, and where could we find his work, music, whatever it may be, NFTs, if he's got any.
Yeah, so my boy, he is big on YouTube for sure. So that's when I met him in college. It was funny. We were sitting in the back of class and kind of just getting to know each other, whatever. And he goes, yeah, like I'm just here because my parents think that I should be doing something. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, music's pretty cool. He goes, yeah, I have like almost like a 250,000 subscribers on YouTube. So it's like I'm like doing stuff already. They just wanted me to get out of the house. And I remember just laughing so hard because I'm like, what the fuck? I was like so modest. But also just like, what the fuck is this guy doing here with such like a yeah, whatever. And it turns out that he was just so fucking good at what he did. Pardon my French, but so good at what he does. He's an incredible vocalist, incredible writer. And from back from 2017 to now, his cadence and delivery has just become just amazing in my opinion. And it's just been really easy to work with him because we got to know each other over bong sessions and hanging out after class. So we got really close over very casual hangouts. You know what I mean? So it wasn't
Hmm.
very stressful. It wasn't like we became friends right off of business, and I feel like that may have led us down a slightly different path. But we actually became friends before we started working together. I think we actually were friends for about a year before I ended up reaching out and being like, "Hey, just letting you know, I do make beats, and if you ever need anything,
Hmm.
let me know." And he's like, "Oh, sure. Well, let's see if you have anything for this song. Why not?" And that was our very first song was "Deal the Devil," which is kind of like this. It's actually a song about Cuphead, if you know that game.
Cuphead. I feel like I can't remember right now. It's like I heard name, definitely. Ugh.
Yeah, it's like one of those like old. It's not old, but it's one of those old time animation type things like Mugman and Cuphead. There's a specific name for the type of animation. It's like slap animation or something. I don't know. It's really cool though.
Looking at it right now. Oh, okay. I see it. I see it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, so, you know, so you've mentioned that you and Zach have known each other for about 7, 8 years now. You collaborate. You started
Mm.
collaborating with him about a year after you met him, and you kind of like just build that relationship through them smoke sessions, them bong rips, and just hanging out. Um, you
Yeah.
know, like from for in terms of like creating art with someone that you're so close with, what kind of environment does that create whenever you're kind of like in the trenches building?
It's definitely super beneficial. Um, I've been in situations where people have reached out and they've really wanted to collaborate, but then they don't really want your input on anything. They kind of just want put your name on the work and then kind of ride along with it, which is really odd to me. Because I'm like, why bother working with somebody if you don't want to actually work with them? Um, but yeah, it's been super beneficial because whenever he sends me something that um, I think he can do better, or I think could potentially use maybe a different vibe as opposed to say he delivered a line with like kind of an aggressive tone, maybe suggesting more of like kind of like a sad tone, just like small creative things like that. And vice versa. When I send him beats, he'll hit me back with, "Hey, what if we try to break down here? What if we try doing this there?" And I think just having the freedom of saying these things without offending each other is really powerful and really, really freeing. Because, like I said, I have worked with people when you give them constructive feedback, but they're still not receptive to it. And I don't know if that's just a personal thing, or
Hmm.
you'd think somebody would be able to put something aside during professional matters. But when it comes to creating, I guess everything is a little bit personal rather than professional. So I can understand people getting upset sometimes. But I one time had a guy wish death upon me and my family
What?
because he didn't like the feedback I gave him. Yeah,
Well then,
yeah, you heard that right.
you surprised me there. Whoa.
Yeah, yeah. It's because he's like, hey, I really like the songs that you've been putting out, and he's like, I'd love to do a song with you. I was like, okay, cool. I actually have this project that I'm pretty much finished. But if you'd like to hop on and kind of add your own flair to it, I would love that. He's like, okay, yeah, for sure. Send me the project. So I sent him the file, send him everything. He gets back to me after a week or two or however long it was, and it was really dope. The edits that he sent me were really really dope, but it wasn't the exact direction that I wanted to take it. He had taken something that was a little bit more poppy and more radio esque and kind of made it more of like a club edit, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
And it was really dope. But I told him, I was like, the version that you sent me has a little bit more energy than I wanted for the actual release. So I was like, maybe we could release that as like that version as a VIP version or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, and then maybe dial it back a little bit just for the release. And basically, you tell me if it's warranted for him to wish death upon me and my family after me hitting him with that. I thought it was a bit outlandish.
Not at all. I mean, the way that I see it is like you were opening up even more opportunities to make more with him. Oh, wow. That I
Right?
I mean,
Yeah.
we're in Web3. This is still the internet, like shit like that does still happen. So I mean, that's why I always say it's very important to like find your tribe, find the people
Yeah.
that are like in the trenches just as much as you are, and build with them, and also get to know some people, make some friends before before the collaborations. So I guess on that note, I guess it may be it may be good to ask, what would be one of your biggest tips on collaborating with other creators?
Yeah, I think the biggest tip I'd have is just setting boundaries and standards right up front. Like having very clear expectations of what you both want from the collaboration, because I do find that, I mean, even recently I've had people reach out to me and they're like, "Hey, I have this audio, I have this vocal track. You think you can make you think you can make something with it?" I'm like, "Yeah, for sure. I would love to." And then 4 days later, they're like, "Hey, is that done? I need it by tomorrow." And I'm like, "Well, I wish you had told me that when you had sent me the file, because I wouldn't have said yes. I don't have time to do it this week, my dude." And I think that a lot of the time, like that miscommunication can cause a lot of um, friction and potential bad blood later down the line if you expect one thing out of somebody and they expect something completely different, and then you end up butting heads over it. Um, but yeah, I mean, communication, I guess, is what it really boils down to. Is just communicating, and but like, yeah, like it's still a fickle mistress, because like I just said, I tried to communicate my thought process to homie, and then he cussed out me and my family. So I'm like, I don't know.
uh,
You can only work with people so much, right?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I do know that like situations like those kind of discourage you to not you yourself, but like one would discourage one
Yeah,
to kind of like even just give that feedback. But you know, I hope that like you're still get providing your feedback within your collaborations, that nothing has changed like for you at least because
of course.
go ahead.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with that collaboration was that it I don't know if the collaboration itself came from a very genuine place on his behalf. Just because I had no relationship with the guy. I did barely even knew him. Um, and he reached out saying that he liked my work, and then after the fact, after I gave him my feedback, he started slamming the song that I had sent him after he said that he loved it. So I was like, I feel like the entire interaction was built upon um, fallacies and
Mm.
just like dishonesty. So I think when you just pick and choose who you collaborate with, very if you're particular with who you collaborate with, I think that that's a really big thing too, because it'll take you make the right decision a couple times, and it's crazy how things will unfold in the right direction, versus you work with the wrong people a few times, and like you said, it's crazy what it'll do to your self-esteem and just your ability to convey your thoughts without feeling like, oh shit, is this guy gonna blow his top on me again?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I like just feel like all of this right now at the current state of where Web3 is, like, you just got to be having fun. Like, fun is the number
Yeah,
one thing. Let's not take ourselves too
absolutely.
seriously just yet until we're making millions. Maybe,
No,
maybe.
that's it. Next bull run. Next bull run. We're still in the middle of. Are we in the middle of one right now? I don't know. It's up for debate,
It
but we're definitely doing well.
It's been pumping ever since the U.S. elections ended and the preferred candidate, was chosen for the cryptos. Things have
Ooh,
been flying.
yep.
I feel like, right, to tell you the truth, okay, like I think right now it's basically front loading. People are front loading because like the man isn't even in office yet. So that's why like we're seeing these like pumps, I feel. But we'll see like once he's in
You're not
office.
wrong.
Like because
I think you're actually smart.
mhm. Once he's in office, we will really see what's going on, how he's blocked by doing things, and like what we see, and then that pump might, or that bull run might come in like, I don't know, 2 years or so, because legislation takes time. That's the thing about democracy. Democracy is very slow.
100%. That's bureaucracy at its finest, right? But
Mhm.
yeah, no, that's actually a great thesis. I didn't even really think about people front loading.
Mhm.
I mean, that's kind of what I'm trying to do. I keep hearing, I don't know, just with the recent price surges and stuff, like I could see Solana being at I don't know, by the end of 2025, don't even want to make predictions, but like at least double what it is now.
Mm? I mean, that would be nice. That would be nice.
Mm,
And
yeah,
it's totally
to say the
possible.
least.
It's totally possible
Right?
because
Yeah.
like this is an analysis that I've made like from years ago, back when Solana first came in the market. Feel free to push back on it, because
Hmm.
these are kind of like just opinions that I formed from data that I've seen. And
Okay.
Solana has always shown to be that that token that hedge funds used to trade, like the dark money, like evil money. That's where they go, where they would always go.
Mm.
That's why Solana pumped from like $20, $15 to $280 last bull run. Like that's a lot of X's. Way more X's than Bitcoin. um, but yeah, like and
Very interesting.
as soon as war hit, Solana was the first one to crash.
You're not wrong, 100%. Solana has definitely seen some very big ups and downs. I remember buying my first Ute actually on, I believe it was actually on the day of the FTX crash.
Oh shit.
Because,
That's
yeah,
nightmare
well,
fuel.
th- yeah, well, thankfully I didn't buy it before the crash. That would have been, yeah, like you said, nightmare fuel. I thankfully kind of, I don't know, I took advantage of the discount, I guess you could say. It feels bad to say, but
I took
um
advantage
I
too.
had conviction in, yeah, I had conviction in the project. I was like, man, this art's too fucking good to be worth what it's going for right now, and especially given the prices before the crash, it was just absurd. So I was like, you know what? Boom, I'm gonna drop. I look back on it, man. I think I dropped 70 soul on my Ute.
Oh my
And at the
lord.
time, like that wasn't even that, that sounds crazy, but it was only like, I think its soul was like fucking $8 a token
Oh
at that point,
yeah,
maybe a little bit higher.
that's right. Soul
It
did
crashed.
it crashed.
Yeah.
It died. Like everyone was
It
like, I don't know if I should even
yeah,
buy this
bro.
anymore. But then all of a sudden,
Yeah, it was saved. So like that was the thing. Like when I look back at it, I'm like, bruh, 70 soul. If I had held that today, what the fuck? It's way more than what my Ute is worth now. But in a perfect world, right?
in a perfect
Yeah,
world, I mean,
yeah, exactly, exactly.
yeah,
Uh,
these days, or I think even for years to come, it might just even be good to just buy and hold token, and that will be the strategy, because there's a lot more growing that the
yeah,
crypto markets will do. I don't know. We'll see if like the world adopts Bitcoin. El Salvador is doing great right now, as a nation that freaking invested their
right.
entire treasury into Bitcoin. They're just like, and what price? Like
Yeah, money shot.
it was like at 28K, like those ranges that they were. I think they even caught some at like 19K. Like they're loaded right now. We need to check their balance sheets, and the U.S. might want to like invade or some shit. It's like,
Their P&L going crazy right now. Yeah, their
for
photon chart is just nutty. Yeah,
real.
it's interesting to see, man, because like I first started investing back in 2021,
Mhm.
and that was kind of during like peak pandemonium. NFTs were flying, ETH was fucking soaring, BTC was soaring, everything was just peak euphoria. And then the next 2 years happened, and it was just, and it's funny to see how everybody was just like, this is it, it's over, sell your bags, nothing's ever coming back. And then here we are, nearly nearly 4 years later. It's been a long one, but we're almost better than what we were before. I mean, at least BTC is. Soul hit a all time. Did Soul hit an all time high? Maybe not. I
Not
know
yet.
ETH isn't quite there yet.
No,
Yeah,
ETH
so we're
hit.
almost there.
ETH. I mean, the thing that was kind of like the next thing I wanted to ask you is like, do you feel like we're gonna have like the same cycles that we did in previous bull runs? Like there's always been that trend that Bitcoin pumps first and then alts follow
Hmm.
after because that wealth trickles into the alt markets. Do you think we might see a
Yeah.
little bit of that here?
I mean, for sure. I mean, you see it all in the markets 100%. Whenever BTC drops, everything else usually plummets. I think the only thing that's not necessarily affected by the price of BTC is like um, like instant meme coins and shit like that. Like meme coins that have been around for a long time, I think can still be sometimes affected by it. But anything that's being created on Pump.Fun, like nothing like that is being affected by it. That's for sure. Um, I don't know if ETH is gonna rip the same way as it did last time because I just think the use case for it. Um, I just think a lot of people aren't buying NFTs on ETH as much anymore. I don't know if
Hmm.
that's just me.
It's I mean
How do you feel about that?
everyone's caught up with the technology. Like before, it used to be ETH that was the big dog. Like you get NFTs, but
Mm-hmm.
only on ETH. And then everyone else, I feel like everyone else has
Exactly.
caught up. Like especially Base. Like Base is definitely a big like could be an ETH killer here because of
Right.
low network fees. Have you explored like any platforms on Base yet?
I've played around with it ever so slightly, but I haven't bought anything on it. I know I had a couple friends who were doing some shitcoin trading on Base,
Hmm.
which I thought was interesting. But yeah, no, I haven't really played with the chain too much myself. How about you?
I've explored a few like stuff like Zora and Dracula and stuff like that. I've invested into like Degen token. Are you familiar with Degen
Okay.
token?
No.
Okay, so there's this platform. It's a Web3 social media platform, which earlier tonight I actually posted tonight this event in there.
Okay.
It's actually pretty big. They have like 50K daily active users, um, and it is like it's a Web3 social media platform where you could they like brought in this mechanism where you can tip. Like you could like go into comment and put a $sign degen and then a number and you tip them that amount. Degen was like the first token to kind of build that technology and get it implemented by Warpcast, which is the name of the platform. And and
Cool.
and from there they like did something cool where it was like you buy 10,000 degen and you start to get an allowance allocation every day. So every day you were given, let's say, 100 degen token, and you could give it out and tip it to other people within the platform. But if you don't use it, it's gone. Like you can't personally use it. It's just an allocation for you to give.
Yeah, so basically it boosts up the ecosystem. So basically it has everybody trading this and giving this token to each other. That's awesome. That's brilliant.
Yep, exactly. And shortly after, a lot of other tokens followed. Um, it's actually like on Warpcast, it's like easy enough, and all this is like through Base, like Base Network. It's easy enough that you could just spin up your own token, like whatever, easy.
Wow.
Hmm.
It's pretty crazy how far we've come like back in 2021, early 2022, you know? I remember when Azuki minted and they kind of revolutionized the 721A or the 721. Yeah, I think it was the 721A contract. Am I getting that right?
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. What
But like
does it pertain to?
it was just a minting contract and it was just like a very secure low gas fee. It was just I remember mints used to be just fucking chaotic for people minting and it was like so much you'd end up losing so much ETH and gas fees and so on and so forth. And I remember Azuki came out with this basically a new contract formula and I'm pretty sure it changed a lot of this, if my memory serves me correctly. And it was still so complicated to do any of these things. And don't get me wrong, it still is. But just from like what you said 2 seconds ago, is there's so many platforms now and so many different avenues and chains where people can kind of hop right in, and it's pretty easy to do something new. Um, and it's only been 3-4 years since that, and it's very exciting to see what else is going to come out in the next, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 10 years.
Hmm.
Because I mean, even with AI lately, it's just been crazy.
I
So
Yeah. As far as metaverse
still,
goes, like I mean, like these days you can use AI to like produce code for Decentraland. So I have a few friends that are doing that, and yeah, it's been going great for them. So yeah, there's going to be definitely a lot of innovation to come for the individual that wants to tinker.
100%. And I think we're at a point right now where things are going to start snowballing a lot faster than they were over the past 5-10 years. I just think the technological advances in the past 5 to 10 years have been crazy. Self-landing spaceships, all this AI technology. It's very interesting, where things will be.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
But yeah,
So
yeah,
So I bringing it back to like music, and I think this
of course.
might also bring it back to Zach too. Um,
Yeah.
on in your bio it says you have 18 million plus streams. You have had
Hmm.
mentioned that you've been working with Zach, who has a quarter who at the time when you met him had a 250,000 YouTube subscribers. Um, like where like I guess the question may be, which I kind of too high for this right now. um, like like how did you achieve this great feat, my friend? Like what is the niche? What is the niche market that you operate in?
Yeah, so honestly, like a lot of this is contributes to kind of the platform that he already had. I think when I met him, he said that he was close to having a 250,000. I think they were sitting at around 100. He was sitting at 180. So he recently just cracked 200. So we're not quite at a 250,000, but he was close to it.
Nice.
Um, but yeah, I mean, the the niche market is nerdcore. So it's basically music about either video games or anime or some sort of animation. Any sort of like fictional character, is kind of what we make music about.
Hmm.
And it sounds kind of silly, but there's a huge market for people who want to say they fall in love with a character inside a show or fall in love with a character in a video game, and they actually just want to hear music from that character's perspective. And it's funny, but it fills a void for that kind of that need and that desire. And to be honest, I had never heard about it before I talked to Zach. Like, it's so hyper niche, and I mean, at this point it's definitely starting to branch out, and I think more people are starting to hear about it. But back when I heard about it in 2017, it was really small, and it was just diehard fans.
Hmm.
And thankfully, he gave me the opportunity to produce a couple songs for him, which kind of gave me an avenue, into the scene and kind of get my name out there and talk to a couple other people, talk to some other artists, and do some work for them as well, and kind of slowly but surely, um, kind of manifested my way into being a solid member of the nerdcore community. And now I work with him pretty much every release he does. He works with me and I work with him, vice versa. And the nice thing about it too is that we've also gotten a lot of work, from each other. So if I have people who are like homies who are trying to find a vocalist, I'll send them to him, and if he has people who are looking for producers, he'll send them to me. So it's been a big blessing. But yeah, most of it I can contribute is to just this motherfucker grinding in his room making these tunes and these AMVs. I'm not terribly involved when it comes to the music videos. That's all him, which is incredible because he also writes all the lyrics and he does the recording and then he makes the music video. So he's triple threat for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Wow. Is there anywhere we could go to? Maybe we can throw on one of his videos to show everyone here.
Absolutely. Yeah, like if you just go to YouTube and type in Zach B. I don't know if you want me to pull it up or you gonna do that?
I got it right here. Zach B.
And then if you type in Save Me.
Zach B. Save Me.
And it should say Zach B. Save Me featuring Chewy Cat.
Is that you, Chewy Cat?
No, so I'm Mack on the beat, but my boy is Chewy Cat.
Okay. I was gonna ask, like, you, bro, do you have like kind of aliases, like, depending on what market you in?
It's funny you say that because I do go by Mack on the beat primarily, but I do have a DJ alias whenever I'm spinning, just because I find it keeps it a little bit more clean when I have more of like a DJ persona, an alias versus a producer alias. Sometimes it's nice to keep them separate. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, Save Me is our latest track. We actually just released that one last Sunday. So not yesterday, but the Sunday before that.
Oh, so this is the track that we spoke about at the Beast roaming party when you were featured as the when you were the featured artist that night. Oh my God, it is released. Let's go.
Yeah.
This makes me happy. All right.
Yes, sir.
Let me throw on the YouTube here. Oops. All right. Oops. Do I have the right one? No, I don't. There we go. All right. So this is Save Me by Zach B and Mack on the beat. And Chewy Cat. God, I love that name.
You were there when there was nobody else. So thanks for the help and getting me out. Before you, I sorta just struggled with being myself. I couldn't relate to how any of this even felt. I know it's not hard to tell that I've been forgotten about. It's not hard to tell that I've been forgotten about.
Here I go, on the wrong side of the road, and something's wrong. But I know it's not easy being alone when faith is gone. I've been on the way out, feeling like I failed now. Where do you go when I am chained? Take me away, I've been away. Nobody stays, somebody save me. Yeah. I've been away, no, not mentally stable. I wish I was somewhere else, just wanting to start again. I wish I had better friends. Need time to mend this broken man.
Yeah, attempting to cope with it, I opened up for the people who notice it. Put back together the pieces that broken. It's different to have someone there you can hope with, and I just don't know who to trust. I've been at the top and I've been in a rut. I know there's a lot that I couldn't give up, and it's difficult. Tell me it was all for what? Everything's falling apart in front of my eyes. I wanna restart without all of the lies, and maybe we'll say that our hearts have aligned, cause both of us only just focus on signs. I can't help but wonder why I even tried. Just know I'll be fine, it all will come true if we manage to climb. It's only a matter of time.
Here I go, on the wrong side of the road, and something's wrong. But I know it's not easy being alone when faith is gone. like I failed now. Where do you go when I am chained? Take me away, I've been away. Nobody stays, somebody save me, yeah. I've been away, no, not mentally stable. I wish I was somewhere else, just wanting to start again. I wish I had better friends, need time to mend this broken man. I've been away, no, not mentally stable. I wish I was somewhere else, just wanting to start again. I wish I had better friends, need time to mend this broken man. Oh, yeah.
All right, all right. We are back. We're back. What a sick song. So, Mac, you kind of told us a little bit about the song before we got started. But you did mention something while we were enjoying the music video, about like who the people that like what parts the people that were involved played within the video. So could you share with us like who were the rapper, who was the rapper, who was the melody? Of course, we know who's on the beat.
Yeah, so it was my boy Zach. He was rapping, and my boy Chewy Cat, he was the one singing. Here, pardon me, my fucking Decentraland is glitching on me, and I can hear myself. Bear with me for 2 seconds.
Oh, yep. Let's see. Oops. Okay. Yeah, back to Decentraland. We are here. And yeah, just want to do a couple shout outs to all the homies that are here. We have been at 9 viewers on Twitch. Thank you so much for your time, and anyone that that would like to jump on Twitch and support. We are live at twitch.tv/SinfulMeatSticks. And yeah, welcome Toxic Waifu, Meta Ryuk. I see you down there in the audience in the Discord chat. On the Rise, so nice to see you here. Thank you so much. Fermion, hello. We got Jim in the building as well as Chrono T. That's my dog, man. I Chrono, you know, I was just thinking about you earlier. I was like, damn, I haven't seen him in a while. I kind of miss him, but you made it today. And what up, Bitfiend? I just saw you pop in. Welcome, and you know, thank you for being here. So let's see. Let me look back at Mac over here. And let's see. To me, your camera's frozen. But are you there, Mac? Oh, he may be having some technical difficulties. So yeah, we will stand by. Let's see. Let's check Discord. Man, stuff like this happens. Let's see. Let's message him. You're hearing background noise. Oh, excuse me. Oh, that was from hours ago. Let's see. Did you crash? Man, it's times like this. Let's see if I'm even. Okay, it's times like this that I wish I had ads for us to play. I'd like just like we beyond the NFT. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. All right, let's see. I'm gonna play some more Zach B music while we wait. All right, let's pull this up here.
She told me that I make her proud. All I can say is hopefully. I'm just a mess, second guessing life there's hope for me. I got them all to fall and it gives me a rush of dopamine. I know I should've fear 'em when your spirit's watching over me, but staying on my toes, you see 'em sneaky, they won't notice me. A system when they need me is a breeze, like it was groceries. Step into my house and then I'm kicking out you nobodies. I carry to the wind like it's the wind, now that's some poetry. Did you learn your lesson? Or at least just left you in a state where I can keep you guessing? Getting your emotions till you notice you're just so depressed, and show them if they don't already know that I'm a fucking weapon. Damn, they might be too fine, and I never miss, man. I'm the shit, she told you two lies. But I'll cup a fist though if I did and send you too high. Wish that I would dip, but that ain't it. I'm back in due time, and now you're about to lose life when I hit you with this kunai. Got our own ambitions, don't this shit as if you knew mine. I've been getting vicious on these bitches, I was too nice. As protection won't get through mine, you could test it if you knew why I was destined. There's a reason they should stay behind. I'ma up the pressure if we just let the Kasune guide. We can go forever, only whenever I'm by your side. Some can do it better, but a lame to keep you all alive. Just a little clever or whatever, I don't even try. I'm swift when I step, it's when I get them right between the eyes. One hit and it's death, in the chest. I'ma show you why, bet that we'll progress and I'll attest. Read between the lines, they put me to the test. You never guess, I'm coming back with fine. Y'all are just a pack of flies, I'm not who they wanna mess with. I might be the last alive, tell me when you wanna get it. My location's classified, hold up if you need a medic. Just keep talking asinine, my friends are under my protection. Fuck with mine, then I'm a dead. No, I'm jokes, I'm not pretending. I was nice before, but not no more. Hey, like the offer ended, but that's just the thought the friend. Know that I must stop and send them back to where they came from. It's a shame, can do it all again. And on this evil, I'ma close the gate and block it. All these people who I see are in the way. They want a piece, I'm easily the finest slice of cake. And if they wanna put a wall between us, I don't mean you're safe in any way. I don't even need a reason to be hated. Most these fucking goobers probably say I'm overrated. Look how I maneuver on these losers, it's amazing. And it did more than you could, like tell my mother that I made it. Yeah, I'll say them, I was all up in my head and I've been down a few. If you really wanna be a hero, gotta power through. Wouldn't wanna quit and just give in, cause that's what cowards do. But all we really need is someone saying that they're proud of you. Thanks.
All right, everyone, we are back with Mack on the beat.
Sorry about that, everybody. Technical difficulties.
we we know how it goes. We know how it goes. We're all accustomed to it. Like we're all Decentralanders after all.
Right after many years of bugs, we are here.
Exactly. So like I never we know we just jumped into the topic of like music like so quickly, and like what you do, how you do it, your friend Zach, and even like a bit of philosophy. But like I never asked you, how did you find yourself within, roaming within Web3 communities such as the D Gods and the Kid Called Beast community?
Oh man. I remember kind of back in 2020, I had a bunch of homies being like, "Oh, cool! Like I'm investing in some crypto stuff. Like, have you ever done that?" And I was like, "No, not really much of an investor." He's like, "Oh, I'm throwing some money at." Oh, it's so funny to look back, but he's like, "I'm throwing money at Cardano. It's gonna be the next
Oh
ETH."
man.
Oh yeah,
I
hilarious.
lost money on Cardano.
Who didn't? I think it's so funny when I think back on that statement. I'm like, I can't even imagine the position my boy's in right now, but he's probably not even in crypto anymore. But yeah, so I kind of first started investing just a little bit of money here and there on pretty low, like low value tokens, just kind of get my feet wet. And then started hearing this shit about the board apes. Just these crazy sales, $100,000, $80,000, $500,000. You're just like, what the hell's going on with these pictures? And it kind of piqued my interest. And I remember just sitting at work. At the time, I was pretty low. I was just a bud tender at my dispensary. So in between customers, I had a good amount of free time. So I used to just sit there and I just would browse OpenSea. And I was just like, man, like, this is cool. Like, I could probably buy a couple of these, whatever. So I got a MetaMask wallet, bought some ETH, and bought my first NFT. I want to say it was November of 2021, and obviously, unfortunately, it was pretty fucking downhill for quite a while after that. Prices started to just drop. I was like, oh man, did I really get in at like the Pico top? And that's honestly, yeah, I kind of did, given the market. But stuck around with it. Just had a lot of fun trading I mean, I'm a collector at heart. Like, I love Pokemon cards. I love pop figures. So like collecting digital photos from a collection of 10,000 like just kind of felt right to me. It was always something that I did. It was just another medium.
Hmm.
And I'm also big into Fortnite skins. So like I was already collecting digital assets. It's just a matter of doing it on the blockchain. And I always really liked 3D artwork, and I remember seeing the artwork for a kid called Beast, like previews for it, and I was like, man, like that shit is so tight. I love the IP. It was designed so well. So asked off and managed to get whitelist, and I minted into oh fuck, what's the music beast hood? It's slipping my mind right now, man. It's slipping my mind. But the music beast hood, and
Okay.
you know what I'm talking about, though,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I do.
Slipping my
I can't
mind.
think of the name.
Yeah, I know, me neither. But yeah, minted that guy, never sold, held through the entire pump back from like that we ran up to like 1.5 ETH and back down to what we are now.
Hmm.
But I did buy a couple along the way up, and I ended up making a little bit of money on some of them. But I never sold the one that I minted gratefully, which I'm stoked about. And then I kind of told you my story with D Gods, how I ended up buying a Ute during the FTX collapse, and just riding with the community for a couple of years until the airdrop or that wormhole airdrop,
Hmm.
and was able to grab myself a D God afterwards, and I kind of been rocking with them ever since.
Nice, nice.
Things have definitely been a bit weird lately, but we're here for the ride.
Hmm. When it comes to like, joining into communities, or at least like in your case, like buying into projects, what are some of the things you look for? Do you look for like community, like the vibe that they bring, or is it more of a visual thing, like you like the asset so you buy it?
I think it really depends. At least for me, I mean, sometimes if I like the way something looks, I'll buy something expecting no return and not really expecting to become like necessarily a vital part of the community. It's more or less just like you said, I like the asset, I like the way it looks, so I want to collect it. But I do think that when it comes to more of my like strategic entries, I would definitely say it definitely is very heavily dependent on, yeah, the community, whether or not they're active or just not super hostile. Some communities you'll just have really active. And it's not always super motivating to rep the same set as them, as you could say. So I think it's definitely important to kind of align yourself with. I mean, obviously, you're going to have some people in every community that you don't necessarily align with, but as long as you align with the majority of the people of the holders that you're also rocking with, I think that goes a long way, because it just gives you're not so much tied to the value of the asset as much. Like
Yep.
you're not dying if price goes down a bit,
Exactly.
and you're also not super eager to sell as soon as price goes up because you're just enjoying yourself, you know.
Yep.
So I think that's really really important for sure. But like,
Oh.
biggest things and stuff like that, for me at least. Oh fuck! Did we lose me again?
I lost you, for whatever you said. Like that's the biggest thing for me. So, could you repeat what you said before that?
I think my
Oh no, are we bugging? Are we bugging again?
gosh, it totally is.
There we go. You're back.
We're good. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. I hear your voice again. Maybe. Maybe your Wi-Fi is being is the bandwidth is high with the video or some. All right. Oh, Mac is frozen again.
Fucking brutal. Here, how about I hop off Decentraland? That might probably help.
Yeah, yeah. Probably, most definitely, same thing.
Hop out of here. It should give my computer a little bit to breathe. Okay, so you can hear me talk, you just can't see me right now.
Yeah, yeah. I just see your PFP, your DGod.
Okay.
So you're good,
Okay,
and I hear you just fine too. So we ran.
Okay.
Oh,
Dope. Yeah, I just closed Decentraland. That should hopefully ease my computer a little bit.
nice, nice.
There we go.
Yeah. So I don't know
Okay,
if you
cool.
remember what you were saying. It's like you said the biggest thing for me at least, but you said something right before it pertaining to kind of
Yeah.
buying NFTs.
Yeah, totally. I was just saying that basically, like when it comes to strategic entries, it's definitely the community and kind of their presence and the values and stuff like that, and just kind of the goals of the project. You know what I mean? Um, Buying something for, I honestly say just like buy stuff that you like, because then you're not gonna be super butthurt if it goes down in value, because there's nothing worse than buying something expecting it to go up in value and then it does the opposite, and then you're like, fuck, what did I do? You're hitting yourself on the head, and it's just better to avoid those situations. Just don't overinvest.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, through the years, I've also like taken my hits, learned my lessons. Like, eventually, like I got to the point where I don't look at like blue chip projects or NFT projects anymore necessarily. Um, I like basically it's like I buy mainly my friends' work. Like I buy it because I want to support my homie. But you know, when we talk about beasts, for example, like because of that philosophy that I kind of follow, I I would be looking at beasts for like months. Like I was looking at it for like months, forgot about it, then looked at it again for another couple months before I pulled the trigger. And ugh. And I mean, definitely, I can say that the Kid Called Beast community and NFT project has brought me back more value than I put into it, and it's not even like a monetary value. It is like the value of being in the same community with talented individuals like you, Mac, or Stony Eye, or like so many others, like Make, um, that kind of make it worth it. And like, on the other end, like let's say even these shows, like I have I have gotten guests from the Beast Discord to be on this show. So for me, it's like, NFTs could go to zero, and I wouldn't be mad at the Beast because I got my assets, I got my toy, like I got my soon to be toy, I got other I got BitBeast, I got yeah, you get so much from the project.
I couldn't agree more. Honestly, I think it's funny because I think A Kid Called Beast is so slept on for everything that it's actually delivered in comparison to a lot of these other projects. Like speaking of those toys, like I'm super fucking excited for them to actually start rolling those out. I think they're gonna be so cool, and I can't wait for them to actually like once they start rolling out. The TL is gonna be flooded with photos of that, and I cannot wait. So I'm super, super stoked for that. And I mean, even just the merch that they released was super high quality,
Hmm.
all heavyweight kind of stuff. And I
Yeah.
mean, like you said, the digital assets, the community in itself. And I mean, even what I really liked about the project was the initiative behind it was to have like-minded individuals, not only in the same collection, but also to be in sub communities where people who are really into food were also hanging out with people who are really into food, and so on and so forth, music and music, video, fashion. That way you could actually build relationships with people who are doing the same things that you were doing. And it was this whole ideology behind building this, right, super network, right, where everybody's interconnected with for one similar goal, but we all have our own passions within, which I just thought was super, super cool. And I don't know if it didn't necessarily pan out as well as I think Raspy and the team had wanted, but I mean, that's just, you leave anything up to humans, things are always going to go a little bit wonky for sure. But uh, I thought the whole thing was
Oh,
really, really cool.
yep.
What made you decide to jump into the A Kid Called Beast?
I mean, I would always see the support on Twitter. Like Beasts always supported each other, and they would be like supporting other projects as well. They were very active. Their community members were always happy, like among the happiest community members
Right?
in Web3, like for an NFT project. I have to say because, like, yeah, like you and I just mentioned, like
Totally agree.
they've given
Like
so much.
yeah, honestly, you know what I mean? As I think the only reason that as a holder you could ever be unhappy was if you bought it at Pico Top for the sake of a quick flip and it went down. And I mean, unfortunately, that was just a bad trade, and sometimes you just got to live with a bad trade. So
Yep.
I don't think that there's any reason for the holders to ever be upset. So I totally agree.
Hmm.
It was definitely a very appealing group of people to hang around for sure, and because it attracted a lot of creative people simply because of like the subgroups and all the assets they were providing, right? The
Yep.
3D files and stuff like that. It really got a lot of creatives really interested, and I know a lot of people who had never played around with Blender before are now Blender pros because of the amount of time and how engaged they got into it because of the community. So
Yep.
it's great.
100% agree. So I'm reading through chat, and I think this was back when we came back from the technical issues, and we said, "Oh, we're used to it in Web3." Miss Make an NFT commented, "We used to it, fam. Just look at our eyes." uh, we were
For real.
we were talking about that a little earlier.
Yeah, we were. Those the eyes are geeking out, that's for sure.
Yep. And then I have a question from MSTR, which is, oops, no, it was up here. Oh, there it is. Community question. I like it. What is Mac on the Beats what is Mac on the Beat's favorite cannabis strain? He mentioned he worked at a dispensary and used to scroll on OpenSea. What is what is their what is your go-to strain?
Hmm. Pardon me. It's funny you asked this. Actually, I was talking with my buddy at work the other day. Um, if I could pick any strain off the shelf, I really fuck with Head Stash. It's super nice. It's got this really piney kind of back end, but it's also got a really nice kind of earthy taste to it. That's definitely one of my go-tos. It's very heavy indica,
Mm.
or I really, really like grape strains. I find I'm just
Ooh.
a total whore for any grape strain. I've really, really been liking this one called it's called Vanilla Ice, and it's a mix of grapes and cream and Italian ice. And oh my god, it's like dark purple. Like oh,
Ugh.
I've almost like I've never seen weed so fucking purple, and it's got just bright orange pistils all over it, with just covered in trichomes. Like it looks so good, you want to eat it, and it smells even better. So yeah, that's been those two are like my go-to strains for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I love me some sour diesel as well if I'm looking for a good sativa dominant hybrid. But I'm all over the place. I just like weed.
Yep, yep, I'm right there with you.
Right.
Sadly, I live in a medical state where it's not legal yet.
Oh,
It was on the ballot this year for election, but it didn't pass. But in a way, like I'm kind of happy it didn't because I don't know if like where you live, there's that attorney firm Morgan and Morgan. I know they're like really big, but
I
true.
do actually. Yeah, we do have them here.
Okay, so Morgan and Morgan here in Florida, Morgan and Morgan and True Leave both joined forces and were trying to push like this marijuana legislation. Like they were, under the guise of recreational weed. But what they were essentially doing within the writing
Okay.
of the law is they were creating a monopoly for themselves in Florida for within the weed industry. So like being like if anyone wanted to like go in business within Florida for cannabis, they needed to go through True Leaf and Morgan to make that happen.
That's crazy. See, like I'm up in Canada, so the way that we do it here is basically it, kind of the same thing, but you have to go through in the province that I live in. Uh, you can have a privatized dispensary, which is owned by a private citizen. But in order for you to actually stock your shelves, you have to buy your stock from the government, the government issued store, which is we call it the OCS, which basically they receive all of Canada's cannabis, and then they dispatch it to the privatized dispensaries, and then we sell it to the actual consumers. So we're government regulated, but we're privately owned.
Hmm.
Whereas that sounds like private businesses, even like private owners, still have to go through private businesses to operate their own business. Like that sounds fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a little oddness to it for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, that sounds super backwards. So yeah, good thing. Hopefully it doesn't stay like that. Hopefully the government is like, hey, you know what? If we step in, we could make a lot more money than these two firms could.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean all around, just everyone, and the way I kind of see it is like I feel like as a government, if you're gonna tax like cannabis, you have a better chance of making more from more people than just taxing these two firms or this big entity, one big tax.
Totally, because the way that we do it out here is basically in order for you to even open up a dispensary, you need to obtain a license to sell cannabis, which obviously makes sense, just like a smart serve or whatever,
Hmm.
or a liquor license, I should say. But initially, because there was so much demand for it, it was kind of like a lottery system, whereas you put your name into a ballot, and then so on and so forth. They would do like I think it was like 15 ballots every so often. Pardon me, I couldn't get my words out there.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a really big deal when you ended up getting this cannabis license, but they've kind of opened the floodgates and they've just started issuing these licenses. But it's like, think about it. If you're charging people for a license, and then you're charging people income tax, and then property tax, and then sales tax, it's like, oh my God, like the amount of money that the government is making off this is just astronomical. So for them to allow privatized business, so short-sighted. And I'm not saying the government should be gouging taxes, because no one likes taxes, but it's better than going to the pockets of a privatized firm. At least it's going to go back to the country you're living in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, definitely. Cannabis here in the U.S. at least does bring in a lot of opportunities for raising funds. Here in Florida, like you were mentioning how limited it was, like before they opened the floodgates. That's kind of how it is right here now. Like I guess the cannabis industry fucked up with our medical marijuana legislation that is currently enacted. It made it so like if you wanted to be a grower, you had to go through all sorts of like background checks, have like 10 million in the bank already, like, you know, and what was that last thing? Oh yeah. One grower's license was issued for every 250,000 patients.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fucked.
I was thinking the same thing. Okay.
It's like that right now. We only have like 5 to 10 like dispensaries, like groups here in Florida, and
But
truly
geez,
it's the biggest.
if you only need one license per 250,000 people, geez, you throw fucking 8 people who are licensed and you can serve
You could serve a bunch of people.
2 million people. Like,
that
that's for sure.
But yeah, and I wonder if it's like they're getting taxed heavily, or if like everything they grow goes to the government. You know, these are things that I wonder, or are they like raking in the profits? Like every sale they make, it's like money, 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 money.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, I'm sure that I mean, unless it's a cash only business, they're probably raking in at least some sort of sales tax, and then probably some sort of initial tax off like the not necessarily the import, but just the operational fees of the actual businesses.
Yeah,
But hard to say how much money they're actually making off like the bulk sales of it. You know what I mean? Like
long
the
run.
major distribution.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Very hard to say.
very very hard to say. Oh man, the fuck freaking time has flown by. We're over an hour now. Like shit, this is good. This is good. Um,
Let's go.
yeah. So, let's see. Let's see. We talked about your music. We talked about Zach. We talked about your humble Web3 beginnings. We bullshitted a little bit. Yeah. Here's one one thing that I was gonna ask in between. You mentioned you were a collector. You know, you like collecting things.
Hmm.
One of those objects or things being Pokemon cards. What's your most valued Pokemon card? Like to you?
I'd say two. I have first edition holographic Machamp, and I don't know the actual value of it, but it's my only first edition card, so I'm like, you know what, it's definitely a prized possession. And then I have it isn't a first gen, but it is a holographic Charizard from like the OG 1995 collection.
Nice.
Um, yeah,
Nice.
so super stoked to have that guy. But yeah, I have a whole binder of Pokemon cards at my place right now. I've been kind of on on a binge these past couple months, buying big old fucking expansion packs, trying to hunt the grails, you know. And it's not even for resale; it's just for the matter of being able to open up the binder and be like, ah, yes, there you are, my beloveds.
uh, I mean, anytime that anyone kind of mentions like been ripping packs trying to find the Holy Grail, I always like to suggest like, have you been streaming it?
No, I actually haven't been, but I've thought about it because it's pretty exhilarating watching people pull packs. I'm like, damn, like I understand why people make a whole business out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun to do it for yourself, but then like also knowing that you're doing it on behalf of somebody else, like you're like, okay, let's see what Jeremy over in Oklahoma gets, you know?
Yeah.
Pretty sick.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've like you're on TikTok or you use TikTok too often, but like whenever I'm like scrolling, I always come across like all these pages that are ripping packs or selling packs, some sort of like, Pokemon related stuff. And they seem to get some traction, like,
They always have a lot of viewers. No, I've come across them too, man. They have like hundreds of viewers sometimes. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like it's pretty wild the amount of traction these guys get.
exactly. And I mean, they keep it fun, and it's definitely like something that we what was the word you used earlier? Nerdcore.
Yeah.
Like definitely
Yeah.
yeah.
Very much nerdcore, 100%. Do you collect Pokemon cards at all, man?
I used to, like when I was a kid. I still have a bunch of the ones I had. Um, as an adult, like the last few years, I haven't had much liquidity. Um, like all
Totally fair.
yeah, all of it going into my metaverse dreams. And but yeah, like now I'm back into work, so I'm definitely gonna be ripping packs. Like I'm already like saying, just wait until I have some money. I'm gonna rip them.
Exactly. Yeah, I've been playing the card game, the mobile game that just came out recently. I've been loving ripping packs on that guy. I don't know if you've downloaded that
I
or
have not.
dove into it at all.
I have not.
If it's something you like doing, man, you should definitely download the card game
Hmm.
Pocket. Yeah, I think it's called TCGP.
Okay.
It is the cards look amazing, and honestly, I would say it's almost a little bit more fun than ripping them IRL because you get these like little animations and sounds and stuff. I
Hmm.
remember I bought as fun as opening it on the fucking, and the cards look amazing. Like they look so dope.
Nice. I'm gonna check it out. Probably right after the right after the stream. Uh,
You should for sure.
eh, um, or any of those two, the Machamp or the Charizard, are they graded?
No, actually, that's actually something I've been meaning to do for a while. I don't have a proper like there's no stores in my city that
Hmm.
do grading, like proper grading.
Hmm.
So it's been a matter of me having to drive out to Toronto and getting that done. And every time I'm out in Toronto, I'm just there for other reasons, and I don't really feel like lugging around my potentially valuable Pokemon cards into places where they may get damaged and shit. So I need to make an effort to drive out there for the sake of dropping them off and getting them graded and then coming and picking them up the next week.
Hmm.
But I just haven't gotten around to it. I've been meaning to do it for quite a while. I'd like to get at least a couple of them graded because I do feel like there are some old ones in there that are hidden gems.
Hmm. Yeah, you never really know because like it comes down to
No,
like the cut of the card and like what it is, what edition, like uh,
totally.
the.
I think it always blew my mind. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
Oh
off.
no, you didn't. Uh,
I was just saying, it always blew my mind that it was just even the positioning of the actual print really dictated even the quality. Like it could be in mint condition, but it's offset by ever so slightly. Oh, it's only a 7. What the
Uh,
fuck?
I thought this was mint. Fuck.
Right, exactly. So close, but yet so far.
Mm-hmm. So,
Yeah.
so earlier in the show, you kind of mentioned you like to play around with like DJing and stuff like that. When
hmm
Metaverse show, when Mac on the beat for Metaverse show.
Actually, for quite a while, I have to. I have my decks over at my parents' kicking right now because I don't have the biggest apartment, so I don't
Hmm.
have the the most space, or I don't have that much space for them right now. But I'd like to pick up a new set of decks, just because the ones that I have currently are pretty. Not a matter of them being old, but they're just they don't quite have as many features as I would like them to have at this point. I've been DJing for 7 years now at this point, and when I bought them, I was just starting out, so there's a lot of things on them that I need that I don't really have right now. They're just setting it up and getting that going.
Okay, I see, I see. Well, the reason why I ask is because like here in Decentraland, myself, Make, our friend Canessa, we're getting ready to like set up for a music event at the end of this month. So, I thought I'd shoot the invitation over to you if you were ready, but I mean, um, either way, like, you know, we could definitely make it happen one of these days. If you ever want to like
Yeah,
perform and show off your skills or just like just chill and bring some people in, like, myself, and Make could definitely help you facilitate that.
yeah, we'll definitely have to chat about it more for sure off the air, because
Mhm.
it would definitely be nice to get on the decks again. I have actually a show coming up on December 6th. I'm gonna be just spinning a drum and bass show here in Ottawa. I'm super excited to get back on the decks. It's been almost a year since I've actually performed in front of a real crowd. So I'm like an IRL crowd, I should say.
Mhm.
So I'm very, very excited for that guy. But yeah, it'd be nice to hop on the decks before that as well.
Let's fucking go. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
if you manage to bring your decks over over to your house in the next couple weeks, I would say it would be on the 30th and
yeah.
31st, and maybe we can set you up. We can give you a time slot, and get you streaming into Decentraland, kind of getting that
Word, yeah.
experience.
We'll definitely chat about it 100%.
And Meg is saying that you are also welcome to perform at the Beast roaming parties every week, or we host them every week. You don't have to perform every week.
Run me into the ground. I like it.
We try.
All
We
right, well,
try.
right. I hate to cut this off, but it does seem like my laptop has been fucking struggling because it's so hot.
Oh man.
I keep losing you on my side. You keep glitching out. So I'll probably say goodbye shortly.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Definitely good time to wind down. I mean, we've been going for an hour and a half, basically. I guess just to close it off, final, closing questions. Um, what is, if anyone wants to collaborate or talk, chat with you, say hello, what is the best way to reach you?
Oh yeah, best way to reach me is definitely through Twitter. Either follow me because I think I have my DMs closed for anybody who's not, pardon me, who's not following me, just to keep it cleaner. It doesn't necessarily work, but it keeps it a bit cleaner. So, um, toss me a follow, and I'll follow you back. I know if anybody follows me after this show, it's probably what they're looking to collaborate or looking to chat. So I will definitely make sure to follow you back, and we can chat in the DMs, or just shoot me a tweet too if I'm being unresponsive, because sometimes I'm just a dumbass. So I get too high and I forget about my phone. So I need the extra little nudge here and there.
Gotta send them the "Hey Mac, notice me" tweet.
Yeah, right. It's like, hey, check your DMs, dumbass. I've had a couple homies have to do that. I'm like, oh, sorry, got lost under all my group.
Lost in the sauce. All right, and final question, which I mean, it's
Chats.
not really a question. It's more of
My hand.
pass it back to you and kind of like any final thoughts, any that you would like to leave everyone with, any final words, or any future releases.
Thank you all for coming out and listening to me ramble for the past hour and a half. I appreciate all of you. We do have, me and Zach have a song coming out. Don't have an exact release date for it, but it will be coming out early December. So stay tuned for that one. I'm hoping to have 2 more releases out by the end of the year. I know we got about a month and a half left, so it might be a bit, we usually like to keep about 3 weeks between releases, so it might be a bit tight, but we should be able to do it. And yeah, just keep being awesome. Stay true to yourself. Don't panic sell if market goes down a bit, because we've seen a hell of a lot worse.
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna see a hell of a lot fucking better, because this is just the beginning. And big thank you to you, Sinful, for having me here, man. I really do appreciate it. It was a blast. Big shout out to Mack for connecting us, because he's a fucking legend. He really is a super, super dope guy. I think I ran into Mack in the Utes community first, but realizing that we both ran in the A Kid Called Beast community and the Utes community really made us, just helped us connect on a more personal level. And I'm happy to call him a close friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, stoked that he's out here too. And yeah, big thank you to you guys for having me out here. And I apologize for all the technical difficulties we've had. My laptop is getting a little bit old. It's crazy, only 5 years old, but this shit, it's wild how technology doesn't keep up these days.
Oh no, I mean, I feel like I buy a piece of technology and by the like 2 weeks later it's obsolete. There's like something new, better, stronger, faster.
Right?
And I'm like, what the fuck? I
Every
just bought this.
Literally, I swear to God, I just got my PS5 and I swear like 3 months later, like, yeah, PS5 Pro. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, come on.
Classic.
Yeah. Yeah, can't win. But that's just it. Keeping up with the Joneses. It's basically.
Yep. And I guess with your music release, just in order to keep track of like the release when it's coming, best place to go is X.
Yeah, definitely Twitter. That's where I'll be promoting it. Yeah, X or Twitter, however you want to call it. But yeah, best way to keep up with my actual releases would be either following my account on Twitter or just following me on Spotify, because then you'll have the releases go straight to your release radar.
Nice. All right.
So, yeah, man. Well, thank you so much for having me. I really do appreciate it. It was a blast.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time, man. Like, I'm really happy we did this and got to chat again. Like, always feel free to hit me up. Like, we're out here grinding in the metaverse.
Yeah, man. I would definitely love to do it again in the future, for sure.
And if you're ever chilling, like here in this Discord that we're hanging it out in, like I'm usually in like chats and voice chats. So always feel free to jump in and say hello. Like we're always just vibing. We're not weird or anything.
No, and weird is good, right? Weird is good. So. All right.
Alrighty.
Well, peace. On that note, peace out, everybody. Peace and love.
Take care of yourself, Mac. Take care.
You too, brother. Peace out.
Alrighty. That was an awesome episode of Beyond the NFT, everyone. Thank you so much for your time. I think we peaked at like 12 viewers tonight on Twitch. I just really want to thank every single one of you for tuning into the Twitch chat and just supporting. Love you all. Let's see who was there. I know that Brandon was there. I know Make an NFT was there. Alpha Angels. We had Toxic Waifu. We probably have a Derek somewhere. So like, it's been a great show. And to everyone that's still in world, thank you so much. I like the new name Alpha. Um, on the rise, thank you so much for being here. Fermion, you as well. And of course, gotta give lots of love to our boy Stony Eye. That is the man. We still have Chrono T up in the building. Oh, Misconduct, you're here. Nice, nice. We also got Misconduct up in the Twitch chat as well. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. This really does mean a lot to me. Just keeping it consistent. Um, my current philosophy here, like these days with these shows, is if I'm tired, I'm gonna do it tired. You know, not not going to back down, just going to keep pushing forward and being being the person I've always been. So, yep, take care everyone. Love you all. And we'll see you back here at Meta One Design headquarters next week for another episode of Beyond the NFT. Um, and yeah. All right, let's see. Let's switch out here and throw some